Good evening, Papa System. From the Mexican border in San Diego to San Luis Obispo, from the Channel Islands to Las Vegas, Nevada, and around the world via the internet, you're listening to the Papa System's most unique net, the Saturday Night Roundtable on the fastest growing system here in Southern California. My name is Darren, and my call sign is WD6USN, and I'll be your net controller for tonight, so please direct all transmissions to me. We call this the Saturday Night Roundtable because it's formatted as a roundtable discussion. You can check in, we'll have discussions about various subjects, and you're welcome to recheck and come back if you have questions at any time. Please note that emergency traffic may come in at any time. So with that said, I'd like to pause for any emergency or priority traffic. If anyone has any, please come now. Okay, hearing none, if you're a visitor to the Papa System tonight, I invite you to go to papasys.com. That's PAPASYS.com and register as a guest. With your guest registration, you'll be granted 45 days of free access to the Papa System. At the end of this complimentary, one-time 45-day guest access period, we ask that you become a subscribed member to continue to use the Papa System. With that said, all amateurs are always welcome to participate in weekly Papa System nets regardless of membership status. All right, on to the announcement portion. We have quite a few announcements for this upcoming week. A rare weekend without a Papa breakfast or lunch this week, but we're getting right back to the action next week, so stand by for this week's announcements.
Here are the Papa System weekly announcements for the week of August 4th. The Papa Inland Empire Breakfast. Papa will be meeting in person on Saturday, August 9th, at 9 a.m. at the Mill Creek Cattle Company. Everyone is welcome. We will be offering ham license testing at 8 a.m. for technician, general and amateur extra class licenses. Please RSVP for breakfast attendance and for ham license testing at 8 a.m. The Papa Valley Breakfast. Papa will also be meeting in person on Saturday, August 9th, at 7:30 a.m. at Lulu's Restaurant in Van Nuys. Everyone is welcome, so come on out for a chance to meet and visit with your radio friends that you talk with on the air. We will be offering ham license testing at 7 a.m. for technician, general and amateur extra class licenses. Please RSVP for breakfast attendance and for ham license testing. Papa Quick Start Program. In conjunction with all of our test sessions, we have a Quick Start program for newly licensed technicians. Our Quick Start program is designed to get you on the air as soon as your new FCC license arrives and help you understand how to use a radio on the Papa System to communicate with fellow hams. The Papa System will provide you with a pre-programmed UHF handheld radio at no cost to you and assist you with technical and operational issues as you learn more about ham radio. More details are available at the test session and on the Papa website. The USS Midway Museum radio team, NI6IW, will be on the air on Saturday, August 9th, from 0900 to 1600 Pacific Time. They will be celebrating the United States Coast Guard's birthday. Check the Papa website for all of the modes and frequencies. All this information, and a whole lot more, can be found on the Papa website at papasys.com.
All right, just like the announcement said, if you missed any of those important announcements of what's coming up, swing by the website, papasys.com. It's all there for your viewing pleasure. All right, let's see. Is there anyone else out there before we kick off the net that has any announcements that want to be made? Come now.
Whiskey Tango 6 Tango.
Whiskey Tango 6 Tango. Brian, go ahead.
Thank you, Darren. I'd like to invite everybody to the Thursday night technical roundtable at 8 p.m. We're getting quite a crowd these days. Had 29 check-ins this week and answered a lot of questions and had a lot of information exchanged. This is Brian, Whiskey Tango 6 Tango. Thank you, and back to the net.
All right, Brian, thanks for that. Yep, if you haven't swung by the Thursday night technical roundtable, man, just a wealth of knowledge out there in the Papa system, whether you're a member or a guest. It's great to share the knowledge around, so be sure to check it out. All right, anyone else for any other announcements before I let everyone know what's going on tonight? Come now. All right, that station that just checked in, your audio is about as barely audible, but I did kind of pick it out with the headphones. You were asking about the time for that Thursday night TechNet, and that's done at 8 p.m. on Thursdays. All right, that covers our announcement. Oh, you are very welcome. That covers our announcements for tonight. Let's get ready to kick off the net. But before I unleash the topic for tonight, we are live streaming, folks. So if you have not checked in on the Saturday Night Roundtable in a little while, you're going to be wondering what the heck we're doing over here. So we tend to do some unusual things on Saturday nights. About once a month, I will live stream. I don't do it all the time, but it is kind of a neat aspect to the Saturday Night Roundtable. I am live streaming from WD6USN headquarters here. You can see me. I'm kind of waving at the camera. If you want to check out that portion of the net, it's on YouTube, and you can search for Papa Systems Saturday Night Roundtable. There you will see a channel, and it should tell you that there's a live stream happening on that channel. Click on that live stream, and you will see what's going on. Now, here's some, let me reset real quick, and we'll talk about some intricacies between the analog RF and the live stream. All right, so there is a delay. If you have the volume up on both, you're going to see quite a bit of a delay depending on your internet service provider. Unfortunately, that is out of my hands to deal with. So I recommend you either have the volume up on the radio if you're getting ready to check in with me via the radio. But if you're just sitting back and watching, you certainly can turn down the radio and bring up the volume on your computer and watch the net that way. And you can interact back and forth. If you are watching on live stream, you can type comments to the people who are talking on the radio, and I will come back and read those comments. So I'll take a few check-ins. We'll hear from those check-ins, and then I'll go back to the live stream side of things, and I will read some of the comments, and we'll go back and forth tonight for as long as you guys want to talk about the topic. And that's kind of how it's going to work. So, and as I look at the live stream, it's starting to populate. I see 12 watchers on the live stream. So it's starting to pick up. You guys that are on the live stream, don't be afraid to jump in the chat and start asking some questions once the topic gets released here. All right, so the topic for tonight. Been kind of thinking and holding this one in my pocket. All of us have some sort of furry friend, a pet throughout their life. Most people consider their pets their children. We're going to tackle the topic tonight. What do you consider the best pet for man or woman's best friend? Or talk about one of your favorite pets throughout your life, or maybe it's your current pet or your past pet. Any one of those pets that you want to talk about. That's what we're going to share. I'm sure we're going to hear lots about cats and dogs and things like that. See who the cat people are, who the dog people are. But I'm interested, who's the exotic pet owners? Who's got the snakes and the lizards and the scaly things and the unusual pets out there? I know Jeff up there in the Bay Area, he's got a couple wild squirrel friends up there, so maybe we'll hear from him on that one. So that's the topic for tonight. Nothing crazy, but I'm sure it'll spark a good discussion nonetheless. So with that said, I will begin taking some check-ins. To avoid the pile-ups, I will break it up in analog repeaters first. We'll go 1 through 10. If you're in 1 through 10, get ready to put your call out there. Give it to me phonetically, slowly if you can, and throw me your first name as well. This way, if I miss the phonetics, I can at least call you by your name. So, with that said, let's start Papa Systems 1 through 10. Analog 1 through 10. Come now.
November 6, Hotel Alpha Lima.
Kilo Oscar 6, Juliet, call back up.
Number 6
Quebec Lima Hotel, Martin.
Kilo Oscar 6, Juliet Charlie Alpha, Jeff.
November 6, Alpha Quebec, Quebec, Dale.
Kilo Delta 6, Lima Bravo, Logan on Papa Wayman.
Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Charlie.
All right, that last station you broke up on me. I think it was a Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Charlie Yankee. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Charlie Yankee. Chuck on Papa 9.
All right, got you, Chuck. Let me just catch up my notes here. All right, anyone else on 1 through 10? Come now. All right, let's open it up to 11 through 20. Ooh, that last station, you did not.
Oscar 6, Juliet Golf Echo, Randy.
All right, got you, Randy. We're going through Papa repeaters 1 through 20 now. 1 through 20. Keep them coming.
November 6, November Yankee X-ray. Greg.
All right, got you, Greg. Anyone else on 1 through 20? Going to be a tough radar night tonight, folks. So let's try to boost up the power a little bit if you're checking in, especially if you're along the coast. Papa 3, Papa 4, those are going to be hit by radar tonight. Sounds like the Navy's out there and running. So boost up that power and speak into that mic. Help me get you through the noise floor there. All right, let's all analog. Anywhere, come now. All right, how about all the internet stuff? All-Star, Echolink, and any of the digitals. Come now. All right, that'll be a good start, I guess. Let's go to the top of my list. He's been a regular on the Saturday Night Roundtable. Dependable. There every weekend. Hal, I thank you for it. N6HAL. Tell me about your pets. We're having all kinds of fun audio tonight already. All right, let's see. Let me get a quick radio check. Come back if you guys got me.
Got you loud and clear.
All right, perfect. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Let's get to the top of the list here. He's been a regular. He's always out there, and I thank him for it. Hal, N6HAL, welcome back. Let's hear it about your pets.
N6HAL. Thank you, Darren. I had several dogs throughout my young childhood. One was named Lassie. One was named Cindy. And other than that, I had a couple of those little furry things. They're like gerbils, but there's a different name for them. I forgot already. But I had two of those. They like to bite my finger, but we finally got them trained, and they were okay until my wife fed one a toilet paper roll holder, and I think he died from eating it. And then my favorite weird pet was a hermit crab, and his name was Hermie. That's about all I got tonight, Darren. Thanks. N6HAL.
All right, Hal. I think I'm going to be laughing a lot tonight, so you guys in the live stream will get to see me. What you don't hear on the radio, you'll get to see and hear on the live stream. But pretty cool, hermit crab. I wasn't expecting a hermit crab tonight, but that's awesome. Yeah, we went through our gambit, especially with my kids, with the gerbils and the hamsters, and then checking on them one day, get ready to feed them, and it's not moving, and you got to let your kids know that the hamster died. But yeah, I'm with you. My baby, my fur baby, is my Labrador Retriever. She's my therapy dog, my service dog. Though she's not really a service dog, she's my service dog to me. But all right. Thank you, Hal, for checking in and sharing your pets with us. Let's keep on moving down the list here. Double checking that I am transmitting because got to make sure I'm pushing the right buttons. Too many buttons tonight, folks, so just bear with me. All right. KO6 Juliet Golf Echo. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable. Didn't get a first name with it, but let's try one more time. Was it KO6JGE? Are you out there?
Yeah, Bob, thanks for hosting the net tonight. I haven't had any strange that I really can't stop. So, you are some things really hope that
All right, I think we got most of that. The radar is whatever repeater you're coming in on. That radar is hitting it hard. So, for those that don't know, we do share the ham band with the with the military, and very now and then, when the ships are off the coast firing up their radars, they do interfere with our 440 repeaters. So, if you're on a 220, I recommend firing it up because it is not affected by radar. But those of us with the 440 will have to power through it. Usually, as the night gets later in the night, the Navy starts turning things off and it doesn't get as bad. But we'll bear with it. We'll live. We'll make it through. Let's keep on going down the list here. I believe it was Martin, KO6 Kilo Lima Hotel. Welcome to the net.
Yes, the name is Martin. The call sign is November 6th, Quebec, London Hotel, and it's really nice being on the net. Thank you.
November 6th, my apologies. I was writing quick when that pile came in, so didn't mean to give you that KO, but November 6th, I got you that one. So, yes, welcome. Glad you stopped in tonight. All right, let's take a quick peek at the chat. Let's see what's going on. BTD747 says, new to ham, looking at getting my tech license. Love listening. Folks, this is the best part of live streaming alongside a ham radio net. We can have non-hams watching and listening on YouTube Live to what's going on. So, to BTD747, I say, don't hesitate to get that license. It's a fun time, and you can't beat the Papa system with its quick start program. We do license testing at every breakfast and lunch that we do, and you get a free radio out of the deal. So, if you want to know what it's all about, check on the website about the quick start program. See what luncheon or breakfast is near you, and we'll help you get that tech license. Gary says, I'm sure this will be another great night. I hope so, Gary. We're going to see if we can push through the radar. And Chuck says, KO6 KCY coming in on Papa 9. Welcome, Chuck. We're glad you're out there. All right, Gary, let's party. Let the party begin. I hope so. We're going to have some fun tonight. Let's move on back to the analog side of things. Let's go to Jeff, KO6 Juliet Charlie Alpha. He's another regular. Welcome, Jeff.
Thank you, Darren. Kilo Oscar 6 Juliet Charlie Alpha coming in tonight on Papa 3, hopefully radar free. And I'm going to go with non-furry for the pets. I'm going to go with freshwater tropical fish which I do recommend. I was quite young when I did this, and I recommend if anyone has young folks, it's a great educational opportunity. You get to observe a lot of the activities of these fish in the tank or tanks that you have. You get to see fighting, mating, live births, eating the baby fish. And at night, if you forget to put the cover on your tank, you come in the morning and sometimes you get to find some of your fish have jumped out of the tank onto the floor, unfortunately. But it's a great educational opportunity. Anyway, 7-3 all, back to net control, KO6JCA.
All right, Jeff. I've had small fish tanks throughout growing up, but I always envy those that have just that big, huge, gorgeous saltwater tank setup. I know they're a lot of money. I know they're not easy to keep the chemicals balanced, keep the fish happy. But boy, is it definitely kind of soothing to see that the fish swimming and all that kind of stuff. So. Interested in hearing if anyone's got some tropical fish experience out there, saltwater versus freshwater. Anything's possible here tonight on the Saturday Night Roundtable when it comes to pets. So, all right, Jeff, thanks for sharing that. We'll see who else out there is on the fish side of things. Let's see how Dale is doing out there in Tustin. November 6th, Alpha, Quebec, Quebec. Welcome to the net.
Good evening. This is Dale on 6AQQ. Had a dog growing up, and then lately I've had cats. But my last cat apparently got caught by a coyote because he got out and he come back. First time it's ever happened. So anyway, I've had cats. But anyway, in 6AQQ, back to that. Thanks for doing it.
All right, Dale, I can honestly say I have never had a cat my entire life. Definitely much more of a dog person. Don't hate cats. I've enjoyed other people's cats. Just never owned one, but I do understand the neighborhood here. We recently had a couple neighbors down. They found just bits and pieces of their cats, and on a night where the coyotes were howling up and down the street, feasting on the neighborhood cats. So unfortunate, but I guess that's a little bit of the circle of life. If you got an outdoor cat, that might be possible. I've got two miniature dachshunds, and boy, are they what a funny personality they have. Not very bright compared to my Labrador, but fun just the same. When their personalities, they act like they're a lot bigger than they are. But we don't let them out at night because we don't want them to become hot dog food for the coyotes. So. All right, let's see how Logan's doing out there. KB6LLB, welcome, Logan.
Good evening, Darren, and everybody on the net. Hopefully, it sounds like I'm not getting too much radar. Good. So, to ID, this is Logan, KD6LLB, coming in on Papa 4 Saddle Peak. And, yeah, without a doubt, dogs, I mean, we've always had dogs, and, that's my kind of, I don't know, when I think of companion pets, it's for me, it's dogs. And I used to always joke that I didn't like cats, but the truth is I don't even know how to count how many cats I've had because, if they show up, we end up taking care of them. And, if we find an injured cat, we take it to the vet, and then, they join the house. And I've also had situations where friends have had sort of outbreaks of litters of kittens, and we ended up rescuing them. I've taken dozens of kittens to the vet to get spayed or neutered and found homes for them. So somehow I end up with cats. Let me reset. Interesting thing, we definitely have coyotes here. Sometimes they walk around the property in the daytime. And so we have to have indoor cats and dogs and anything here. But we did have an outdoor cat here that belonged to my in-laws that lived to be 17 or 18 years old. But that cat came in the garage and took up a spot in the attic of the garage for 17 years and lived a full life and never had an encounter with a coyote. And let me reset. There was mention. I think Jeff mentioned aquariums. I had aquariums and terrariums when I was a kid, and I had the standard, little neons and little angelfish and the cleaner fish that look like sharks and all the cool things. And I had trouble for a long time. These aren't big aquariums, 20-gallon, and I finally figured out that if I took all the filters, the under gravel filters, and everything I had, and just put it in one 20-gallon tank and ran it all, the water was clear. I cleaned it and replaced it often, and for a couple of years I had very healthy aquariums. And the other thing I did was try to catch anything I could find in the creek: minnows, tadpoles, crawdads, whatever, and keep them in one of the other aquariums. I tried keeping lizards, snakes, tarantulas. We used to catch tarantulas, and none of that worked. So anyway, I tried. And what else? Had hamsters, had a ferret. Don't recommend having a ferret in the house. People tried to talk me out of it, and I was stubborn, and I finally had to admit that, ferrets are not great in the house. And we did find an actual home for him. They didn't just take him and make him disappear. I'm very happy that he actually ended up in a place where they had kind of a giant ferret habitat, I guess. And let me reset one more time. So the other funny thing that happened is years ago we rented a house at Oxnard Shores, and after we had signed the lease, the people that were leasing the house asked me, do you want the koi or no koi? And I didn't even know there was a koi pond in front. Well, I knew there was a pond. I didn't know there was a fish. And I ended up taking care of a koi for 7 years. And my experience with the little 20-gallon tropical fish tank was pretty helpful. And he also ended up in a much better koi pond. When I moved, we had a neighbor with a really exceptional koi pond, and
Node 1800.
Anyway,
Time out.
one last thing. So, just by odd circumstance, we now have an 18-inch long bearded dragon, and after all those years of trying to keep reptiles, I ended up. Now we know how to do it, and it turns out it's just a pretty amusing animal. Everybody who sees it is really intrigued, and I don't know, they're not like other reptiles I've seen, so it's a very odd experience. But all right, I've rambled on. Thanks again, Darren. KD6LLB, back to net.
All right, Logan, you've definitely had the gambit of pets for sure, from koi to bearded dragons to cats, and man, I've heard that. At least I've seen a few bearded dragons, kids that had them, and they do have a bit of a personality, and they do recognize their owner and kind of like show a little bit of an affection kind of to the owners. It's quite weird to see a lizard like that, or I assume it's a lizard, be able to have those kind of traits that you wouldn't think they have. So. Koi pond, I am envious because I definitely, I spent 8 years in Japan when I was in the service, and of course they're everywhere there. And I always want to build one in the backyard here in my house, but I've always been told, again, the coyotes would probably handpick the koi out of the pond and just become a problem. So haven't tackled it, but thanks for popping in there, Logan, and sharing all those many pets. I knew this would be a popular topic, so let's take a quick peek over at the chat. And I see Ellen in there. K6DV says hi, and she's had a lifetime of dogs, cats, and birds. I've got some stories on birds. So all special, all missed. So I hope we hear you on the analog side of things, Ellen. Don't be afraid to pop in there. I know you have a special friend that rides on that motorcycle with you, and I'd sure love to share it with all the other Papa members. Some of those stories of you on your bike with your loved one there. All right, let's see. Ed, this is KO6JGE. Sorry about the back user. Don't worry about it, Ed. It's not your fault. Papa 3 is just getting hit hard by the radar. Although it sounds like it's kind of subsiding. So, Ed, if you wanted to pop back in there again, don't be afraid to do a recheck, and maybe we'll hear from you better this time around. So, Don is out there, says he's a retired dog trainer. Don, we want to hear from you. Give us some tips on training dogs. Some of us struggle in that regard. All right, and then Hal's in there. Finally got on the page, Hal. Well, welcome to the chat, Hal. Glad you made it in there. All right, let's go back to the RF side of things. I've got Raymond out there, KO6 Bravo Golf Sierra. Raymond, welcome to the net. Are you out there, Raymond? KO6 BGS, Bravo Golf Sierra. All right, maybe we lost them, but we'll come back around, see if we can pick them back up again, maybe once we get to the bottom of the list. Let's try Chuck, KO6, I believe it was Kilo Charlie Yankee. Did I get that right, Chuck?
Yes, Darren, you got it right. Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Charlie Yankee. Chuck here, and I certainly do not have the pet experience that Darren has there, but I certainly, growing up, my first pet was a miniature dachshund, like you, Darren, so we loved that little dog. That was Skipper. Today, we've been doing cats, and currently we have 2 cats, Pepper and Ruthie, who is named after Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who has a mind of her own, and anyway, that's where we are now. So anyway, thanks, Darren. Back to you.
I love the name, Chuck. That's got a good chuckle out of here. So yeah, I love how people name some of their pets and some of the stories behind it. So awesome, Chuck. Thanks for checking in there. Yeah, those miniature dachshunds sure are a hoot, aren't they? I've got 2 brothers, and you know, as they get older, they become grumpy old men. They start fighting with each other. I got to separate them every now and then, but they are a blast to have around. All right, let's KN6 Foxtrot Delta X-Ray. Didn't get a name with it, so welcome to the net. Let's try that one more time. I believe it was a Kilo November 6 Foxtrot Delta X-Ray. Did I get that right? All right, maybe he had to pop off. We'll see if we can catch him back up. Let me put a note in here. How about Randy, KO6JGE? Once again, Randy, are you out there? All right, how about Greg, November 6, November Yankee X-Ray. Greg, are you out there?
I am, and good evening to everybody. So, yeah, what's best? Cats and dogs. We have Mr. Kitty, and we also have Pele. And since Pele's right with me, I'll talk about her right now. She's a boxer mix, about 7 years old. She has several nicknames, of course. Dogness Everdeen, Pupper Nupper Pre-Wash, which she did really good today on after lasagna. She is trained somewhat, but always underfoot, always knows when food is around, and always pushing her luck. That sound like anybody else's pet? N6NYX. Good evening.
All right, Greg, thanks for checking in with us. And yep, that definitely sounds like my Labrador. She's a dumpster. She'll eat anything and never seems to ever get full. You know she's sick when she doesn't finish her food bowl. So, yeah, she's always hovering around. So I totally understand what you're saying. But thanks for sharing that tonight and checking in with us and letting us know about your furry friends. So that puts me at the bottom of my list. Let me double check to see if Raymond popped back in there. Raymond, Kilo Oscar 6, Bravo Golf Sierra, are you out there, buddy? All right, maybe he turned in for the night. Let's double check on Kilo November 6, Foxtrot Delta X-Ray. Are you out there? All right, I guess not. That puts us at the end of the first round here of the Saturday Night Roundtable. So let me re-ID here. So once again, my name here is Darren, call sign WD6USN. This is the Saturday Night Roundtable, and we're talking about your furry, scaly, or slippery, whatever kind of pet you've ever had during your life. We're sharing stories about them. What do you consider the best pet to have? Have you ever had any exotic pets throughout your life? We want to hear about some of the unusual ones. Ferrets. That's I know Logan said he had some ferrets, and I've known several people that have them. They seem pretty fun to have, but I know they definitely got a little bit of a smell. It's not a horrible smell, but it's also not a pleasant smell, at least not in my book, but they seem like an interesting pet nonetheless. So that's what we're sharing tonight and we're talking about. So with that said, let me take another round of check-ins. Give me that call sign phonetically. Give me a first name with it so I can come back to you in case I miss that call. Anyone, anywhere. Come now.
Kilo Mike 6 Alpha Victor Hotel November. Jeff.
Let's hold up there real quick.
Kilo Oscar 6 Delta Tango Echo Eric.
All right, I got you, Eric. I got you, RJ. Jim and Cerritos, I heard you. Give me that call sign one more time.
Kilo Echo 6 Foxtrot Victor November.
All right, so I got Jim, RJ. I got the KO6 DTE call. Who else came in on that pileup? Come back again.
Kilo 6 Charlie Oscar
Gary,
Zulu Tower.
Kilo Oscar 6 Hotel Romeo X-Ray.
Six Delta Golf X-Ray.
Kilo 6 Charlie Oscar Zulu Tower.
I got you, Tom. And I got you, Rick. All right, anyone else? Keep them coming.
Kilo 0 Victor Charlie Zulu J.
Kilo 6 Delta Victor.
Kilo Foxtrot 6 Foxtrot Papa. My dog walked. This is Gary, KO6HRX.
All right, I got you, Gary. The person that just doubled with Gary, can you come back again?
Kilo Foxtrot 6 Foxtrot Papa. Gary.
All righty, I got you on that one. Anyone else want to get in on round two? There'll be a round three. Don't worry if you don't, but I can pick you up now if you'd like.
Alpha Bravo.
So Victor Charlie Mike Zulu J.
All right, I got Jeff. Somebody doubled with Jeff, so if you are not Jeff and you just checked in, come on back again.
Kilo 0 Victor Charlie Zulu J.
I got you, Jay. All right, let's call it there. That'll be a good round two. And let me take a quick look at the comment section here on YouTube. If you're just joining us tonight, we are live streaming. And if you want to participate in the live stream side of things, you have to go over to the YouTube, search for the Papa System Saturday Night Roundtable, and you will see us live there. Well, you'll see me live. I'm waving at the camera right now. And you're getting a good view of my ham shack. And if you look over my right shoulder, you'll see 40 meters is popping off pretty good right now. So if any of you guys, HF guys, maybe after the net, go check out 40 meters if you have the license to do so. All right, let's see what we got going on. KF6FP trying to get in. I think, did I get you? I got you on the list. I'll put you on the list. See, you're checking in on the comment section. I'll give you a call on the analog side, see if we can get you in there. So, all right. And Gary says, finally got checked in after having my dog walked. Perfect. You'll have to tell us about your dog walk, Gary, when I get you on the list. All right, comment section is all caught up. Let's get on to the round 2 list. RJ, KM6AVH, welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Hey, Darren. Well, I got a few things here that might be, hopefully we can get the audience to laugh here. Number one, I lived with a Chiweenie for about 4 years. And he was an excellent dog. Still is, but when my roommate moved out, she took him with, and so he's much happier with her than with me. But I named him Sir Licks-a-Lot. He would jump up on my lap and just have a feast on my face. He would just lick and lick and lick. So I named him Sir Licks-a-Lot. And hold on, I got for the next thing. So a few times we made the mistake and we left the door open after dark. And I have an enclosed backyard. And Milo would go out there and tangle with a skunk and get sprayed. Didn't happen once. Didn't happen twice. Happened 3 times. And of course, as soon as he gets sprayed, he comes in, runs around the house, and jumps up on my lap. Well, as you can tell, the next few days are kind of interesting around the house. So that's that. Then I got 2 more things. It is well known that dogs have masters and cats have servants. Dogs have masters, and cats have servants. So the last thing is, I remember seeing, it wasn't a cartoon because there were 2 pictures, but it was, real pictures. And the first picture is just this close-up of this dog's nose and tongue hanging out. And the caption underneath for the dog was, "Oh, you're home. I missed you. I love you. Pet me, pet me, pet me." And then the second picture is a cat sprawled out on the couch, and the caption to that is, "I see you have finally returned. Feed me now." That's it. KM6AVH back to net control.
Well, RJ, we could always count on you for a good story, but I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah, definitely. The cats definitely, like I said, I'm not a cat hater, just never owned one, never felt like I wanted to own one, but they definitely, like you served them, I would agree for sure. I don't know, I just gravitate to the dogs, so, but... I like the Sir Licks-a-Lot, the Chiweenie. That's pretty. I love some of the breeds that are out there. Some of the unregistered breeds, so to speak. I guess those are the best kind. The Corgi, the Great Dane. I've always wanted a Great Dane. Hopefully, we hear from somebody out there that's had a Great Dane. Let me know how owning a Great Dane is. I've heard they think they're little lap dogs, but they're a quite large breed. So. All right, let's keep on moving. I got a long list to get through tonight here. Let's see. KE6 Foxtrot Victor. No. I skipped one. Sorry. I'll get you in a second. Let me backtrack. KO6 Delta Tango Echo. Welcome to the net.
thanks for that. Great topic here. I guess our first round of pets was a 50-gallon fish tank. And owning an aquarium is kind of like owning a boat. The first day you get it is great, and the day it goes away is great. But in the meantime, we had fun with it. It was very peaceful just to sit and watch the fish. But most of the fish had passed on, and it was time to move the tank on. Fortunately, I was able to find a coworker that was looking for a fish tank, and I'm like, you come get it, it's all yours. But dogs, we've always seemed to have had a dog in the house. Our last dog was a miniature dachshund. It sounds like there's more than a couple out there in Papa Land. She was quite a lover. We lost her at old age. And during COVID, we got a call from a friend who worked at the vet office that somebody dropped off a couple of puppies. Needed a home, and my wife wanted to go look. Let's just go look. Well, you know how that works out. We wound up with a terrier mutt who happens to be on my lap as we speak. And I just call him just 12 pounds of mischief because he's always into something causing trouble. But gotta love it. Any rate, that's my story of all the animals that have come and gone over time. With that, back to the net. Thanks a lot. KO6 DTE.
Well, much appreciated for checking in and sharing all of that. I've heard that about fish tanks, that it's the best when you first get it, but then when the money starts piling in and you got to add this and add that and fix this chemical and fix that, especially some of those larger saltwater tanks, not to mention the fish aren't cheap. And if the chemicals aren't right and they don't make it, that's you're just kind of throwing money down the toilet there. Much like a boat, I agree. So thanks for checking in. Papa 4 Hotel on you started clipping, and but we got most of what you said. And for those that don't know, Papa 4 Hotel gets its internet from Saddle Peak, and on occasion we do get some interference in that link. So that's what you were hearing when the connection goes in and out there. But it picked right back up, and we got everything you said. So again, thank you for checking in tonight. All right, let's see. Now let's go over to Jim, KE6 Foxtrot Victor November. Welcome, Jim.
Good evening. This is Jim, Kilo Echo 6 Foxtrot Victor November in Cerritos. Grew up mostly with cats. Had 2 dogs in the household. My brother David and I, when we together, each of the 2 dogs take them for a walk. Depending on which one of us held the leash, we could tell they knew which one of us was the older of the 2. And if I held the leash, each of the 2 dogs knew I was the older of the 2. So I took the lead. If my brother held the leash, that told them they were in charge. And then keeping in touch with a Navy chaplain when he was assigned to both MCAS El Toro and Camp Fountain, and I would go visit him and family after the church service on Sunday. And I'd show up at the front door for lunch. The Crocker Spaniel and Beagle would sometimes, judging by my scent, would say, okay, he's here. KE6FVN.
Well, Jim, I much appreciated. It's quite amazing how, pack animals definitely have their pack leader, and how, they act differently when the pack leader's not there leading them around. They definitely take the lead, and they're the boss until the pack leader shows back up. So that's one thing I love about dogs. They definitely are one of the more loyal breeds out there, and always dependable. So you mentioned something that kind of sparked in my mind, obviously from my call sign, WD6USN. I've spent some time in the Navy, and it had never happened during my time on deployments, but currently almost every ship that's on deployment actually has a dog on it, believe it or not. And it is it's a service dog, a therapy dog, and they make the rounds on the ship, and it's quite the experience for those men and women aboard the ship who are on stressful environments and working 24/7 around the clock with little breaks. They get to play with the dog a little bit, I guess. I never got to experience it, so. But I always thought it was pretty interesting that the Navy has adopted that on a lot of their ships. There's a dog out there, so pretty cool. All right, let's keep on moving down the list. My buddy Tom, K6ZOZCOZ. Welcome to the net, Tom.
Hey, good evening, Darren. Thanks for having me on the net. Watching you on YouTube. A little bit of delay there, but pretty cool. Nice setup you got there. I see you got a cage in the background. Wonder what goes in there sometimes. Had cats and dogs, growing up. Allergic to cats. Didn't figure that out until I moved out of the house. But tarantulas, 2 boa constrictors, a python, Doberman, 2 Samoyed California black timberwolf mixes, and a pit bull. And just currently have a beta fish. The last 7 years, and they live about a couple years, but that's all we got going on now. But good to see you, great setup, and just wanted to say hey, and pets are cool, and keep up the good work. 7-3, K6UZ.
All right, Tom. Yeah, thanks for checking in. Sounds like you had the gambit there. That's pretty awesome. I was wondering when somebody would check in and say they've had a snake. I actually have had a snake, and believe it or not, I had it in the barracks while I was going through training in the Navy when I was a young, dumb, stupid sailor. Never got caught, but once I got orders overseas, I had to give it away to a friend. But I had a ball python, kind of a neat pet. Kind of boring too sometimes, but yes, I do have a cage back there that you see over the back behind my chair. For those that are on the live stream, that is for the wiener dogs, the dachshunds, the miniature dachshunds. When we go somewhere, they are crate trained, and we put them in the crate when we go. And we don't give them free reign of the house, but my Labrador, she has free reign of the entire house. She's the queen of the palace here. But the crate trained wieners, they go in the cage when we leave. I just don't trust them. They might rip up the place. I'm sure they'd be fine, but we've trained them since they were little puppies, and they actually love running into the cage, and it's kind of their little home, their little sanctuary. So, but all right, Tom, thanks for checking in and sharing all your pets with us, and thanks for checking in on the live stream as well. All right, let's get to the list here. I'm back to Gary, KO6 Hotel Romeo X-Ray. Welcome back, Gary.
Thanks, Darren. Yes, being the oldest of 9, didn't have any pets at that point in time. Too many mouths to feed at home. Once I wound up moving out of the house and dating my bride, we had a dog. Then we had children. Then we had some more dogs. And as the children got older, I didn't want to deal with dogs so much. And I asked them, who's going to clean up the doggy specialties? And it's I will. And obviously, after a couple of weeks, it's me. Cleaning up the doggy specialties. And through the years, when we lived in Monrovia, we happened to have a tarantula, a duck, a goose. Myself growing up, though, as a kid, I wouldn't say they were pets, but animals that were caught. And we'd go up near the railroad tracks where the Chicago Northwestern would run, and probably had about 20 to 30 snakes at any one point in time. Didn't bring them home, kept them in a jar away from the house. The story can go on forever, so I'm going to give up the ghost at this point. I'm going to pass it back on over to you. This is KO6HRX.
All right, Gary, thanks for checking in with us and being a regular. You also as well every week. I can count on you being there and sharing your pets with us tonight. So it sounds like you had a fun time and many a pet growing up as well. Let's take a quick peek over at the chat. Let's see what's going on. I see Hal made a comment in here that rings with me because, see, Hal, you and I are on the same wavelength. Hal says the best pet would be a sloth. I've always wanted a sloth. I know I can never own one. I'm sure it takes lots of permits, and I don't know that they would do well. Maybe they would do well in Southern California. I don't know. But it just seems like the coolest, slowest, most chill pet in the world. I would love to have a sloth. I'd love to have a capybara as well. If you guys have ever seen one of those, it's the world's largest rodent, but it seems pretty funny and cuddly. So let's see. Chuck says, thank you, Darren. Love seeing your shack, including your wiener dog home. Oh, thanks for checking in, Chuck. Maybe I'll get one of the wiener dogs to come over here, and I'll put them on the camera. I'll show them to you. They're a pretty funny bunch for sure. All right, let's move back to the list. Let's go to, Rich up in Santa Ynez, KO6, Delta Golf X-Ray. How are you, Rich?
Hey, Darren, thank you so much. And to all the people checking in for making it so fun, you corral them. It's like you're a master. It's like herding cats, but you get it all done. But okay, my gosh, my thoughts were just a shout out to RJ. I rescued a feral cat from the creek in the backyard, and he looks like an ocelot. So his name's Sir Ocelot, and that kind of reminded me of what RJ was talking about. And then we have rat toodles, and I do have a gopher snake. I rescued him. He was about to be eaten by a crow, and he was about the size of a pencil. And I shooed the crow away, and I threw him in a jar and put him in my truck. And I forgot about him actually. And then a few days later, commuting to work, my wife saw a snake in the truck, and she was all freaked out. But it was just that little snake I rescued. So he's still with us, and that was like 23 years ago. So gopher snakes live long. And then the final thing is like the one that got away. So my mom said I couldn't have one. My cousins had one out in the desert, and it's a 9-banded armadillo. And wish I could have got to have one of those. But anyways, thanks a lot again. KO6DJX.
All righty, Rick. I'm glad you remembered the snake in the jar, and that he was able to live a long life. I've never heard of someone catching a gopher snake and keeping it around, so that's very cool. I guess I'm wondering. I know gopher snakes can. I think gopher snake's the good snake, right? They eat other snakes. I wonder what you had to feed it, but very cool. Thanks for checking in, Rick, and sharing your pet experience with us. Definitely some unusual ones out there for sure. All right, let's see what Jay has to say about his pets. KO6 Victor Charlie Zulu. Welcome, Jay.
Negative. It's Kilo 0 Victor Charlie Zulu. Kilo 0 Victor Charlie Zulu.
My apologies, Jay. I had KO on the call on the brain. So Kilo 0 Victor Charlie Zulu. I got it on this one. Welcome, Jay. Sorry about that.
No problem. And thanks for the welcome. I just actually joined Papa today, well as a guest member, but just checking things out. Thought I'd join the Saturday Night Roundtable. Just here at the house, we just recently relocated back to Southern California from Washington State, but we've got our 2 cats and our 2 dogs. I've got a blue heeler and a lab mix. And then for cats, we've got Juniper, who's just a regular short hair. And then we have an orange one-tailed cat named Dr. Mr. Pippers, who has his JD, PhD, and his MD. Back to the net.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Thank you, Jay. And let me give you a very welcome to the Papa System, and give you the quick lay of the land here. So Saturday night is the one net a week where we talk about topics other than ham radio. every other night of the week is dedicated to some type of ham radio. So Saturday night's a bit unique. The topics can be varying and vast. As you can see, we're talking about pets and animals, and I've done trivia. I usually do some unusual things you don't see on nets, and that's just really to keep everybody entertained and draw the crowd on a Saturday night. The one night that usually most people go out, I got to do some stunts to keep everyone entertained and keep them in front of their radio on a Saturday night. So that's why the live stream, I don't do it every week. It's usually about once a month. But you might see some trivia. You may see some unusual sounds that go on behind the scenes here. We can do all kinds of magic here on the Saturday Night Roundtable, so we try to make it fun. But again, welcome. Glad to have you as a member. Enjoy those 45 days, and we hope you sign up for the full-time member and come by one of the luncheons or the breakfasts that are nearby, so we can put a face to the call sign. So, all right, let's keep on moving. I was hoping she was going to check in tonight. I'm looking forward to hearing from her. Ellen, K6DV, welcome to the net.
Oh, mercy. Darren, I saw you wave at us. I was watching on the live stream. It was nice. It startled me because I thought, oh my gosh, maybe he can see me. That would have been hilarious. But it didn't happen. So nice wave, though. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'm curious, though, about what you have on the screen in front of you, and what is that software you're using to manage us? And the other two screens, you got 4. Wow. If you're not looking at YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, you really ought to scoot on over there and reel him in and take a look at his setup there. It's pretty amazing. Oh boy. Wow. Pets. I have been loved by some of the most amazing creatures. I have several now that are doing the same thing to my heartstrings. You get a heart dog maybe twice in your life, and it's really hard when they go. So I can't talk about that. That was in 2020, 5 years ago. Wow. But I have a Belgian Malinois at my feet right now, and she's a rescue. And they say about these Belgian Malinois, the ones, the dark faces and the tan bodies. Let me reset for a second. They say that German Shepherds need a superhero, so they invented Belgian Malinois. And it's true. They have the intensity of a border collie with the protective instincts of the best guard dogs. And she's wonderful. But I have been loved by so many that I don't want to go through the list. But started out with dachshunds, Darren. Growing up, had dachshunds at home until I went away to school, and then I got a dog at the shelter, and so it continued. And it's been an interesting life. I'm not bored, and I am still loved by some of the best 4-footed things on the planet, and I love them back. This is Ellen, K6TV. Back to you, Darren. Bye.
All right, Ellen, we appreciate you checking in and sharing that, and I'm totally sympathetic with you. Dogs just do not live long enough. The impact they have on our lives are tremendous, and it's just tough when they can't live as long as we do. My Labrador, like I've already mentioned, is my unofficial service dog. I don't take her everywhere, but I definitely need to have her around. I need to rub her ears when my day is not going well, and she just brings a calm to me that I very much need. And she's 13 now, and she's definitely been on the decline lately, and I don't even want to think about when the day comes. So I totally understand where you're coming from. But on to the Belgian Mal. I don't share a ton of my military service. When people ask, I am more than happy to explain what I did, and many know that I did a lot of work in helicopters. But I have had quite a few Belgian Malinois in the back of my helicopters, with very highly trained personnel jumping out of the helicopter, rappelling out of the helicopter with their Malinois strapped to them. So I've seen some pretty impressive things that breed of dog is capable of, and it's no short of amazing. And if I had the ability to train one, I would love to have one. But they are definitely a breed that takes the time to train, and they are massive energy. And again, though, that they are some of the smartest breeds out there. So, Ellen, thank you for sharing your pets with us. And like I said, I always enjoy seeing. Goodness, I'm drawing a blank. Is it Betsy? That rides on the back. I'll give it back to you real quick. That rides with you on the motorcycle. Oh, looks like we might have lost her. But all right, Ellen, thank you again for checking in with us. Let me double check that I am transmitting. I am. All right, let's keep on moving. KF6, Foxtrot Papa. Did I get that one right? Welcome to the net.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. KF6P, name is Henry. Next time, Bacon Harry. Anyway, very interesting net tonight. I've had all kinds of species of pets throughout my life, including a horse and fish and snakes and cats and dogs. And the last one we just lost in February. We had her for 33 years. She was a parrot, basically a cockatoo. And they are wonderful pets, very communicative and very affectionate. Her name was Jezebel. We used to call her Jezebel, the bird from hell. But she was a great pet. And other than that, I'll keep it short and back over to you. KF6FP.
All right, Harry. I too have had some birds along the way. When I was younger, my dad actually was a exotic bird importer of many things he did throughout his life, and he also owned a few exotic bird stores. And I did have cockatoos, I had blue and gold macaws, I had hand-fed sulfur-crested cockatoos, you name it, we had it, and they are definitely, the hand-raised ones are definitely a very affectionate and pretty cool pet to have around. I had the African gray, which is one of the most talented talkers out there, the double yellow headed whatever they were, had the gambit that my dad would bring home all the time. So pretty cool. I haven't had since I've been an adult. We never ended up getting birds. My wife doesn't like birds very much, so we just kept to the dogs. But all right, let's we're gonna have some good ones here because I know Jeff has adopted some wild squirrels. Maybe we'll get to hear about them. Jeff, how are you doing up there in the Bay Area? AB6MB.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, and thank you for doing the net. Yeah, I've had dogs and cats over the years, and I prefer cats actually. Dogs have no dignity. Cats have dignity, and I've seen that proved many a time. But with the squirrels that I have running around my patio, they definitely have, somewhat, different personalities. And but I have one that really stands out. His name is Rocky, and he'll come on usually later in the afternoon, and he'll if there's no peanuts or nuts out there, he'll come out to my sliding glass door and stand on his hind legs and look in at me until I get up and bring him some peanuts, and then he's nice and happy. But having those little guys around is like having a pet. Obviously I don't pet them, but or let them in the house. But they're just unique, and they're always fun to watch. And when you get a couple of them chasing each other and up and down the tree, they can really move. So they're a lot of fun to watch in that. So I just I'm glad I started feeding them, and I try not to overfeed them, but but it's great to have them around. It's like having a cat without a cat box. That's kind of how I look at it. So but I remember having pets pass away on me and being really tore up over it, and being the dad, I had to take them to the vet, for the last trip, and that was always really hard. But doing what was best for them. But that's about all I got here. Great net tonight, and well done. So back to net, AB6MB.
All right, Jeff. Again, thanks for checking in with us, and very cool that you've been able to, I guess, pseudo train them, the squirrels, to be comfortable around you and be able to feed them. So that's pretty awesome. I've never had a squirrel that tame that would want to come up and eat something out of your hand or anything like that. So very cool. But yeah, I know it's tough when the dogs get sick, and I know there's pet insurance out there. We never got it for our lab, and she got real sick a couple years ago, and that check cost a lot of money, but in my eyes it was money well spent, because she was rushed into surgery, and she's still with us today because of it. So that's just life, and I was willing to spend the money to keep her alive. So. All right, let's check in on the chat side of things. We have, how many are still sticking around with us? I saw as many as 25 tonight. I see 17 still in the live stream. And for those that want to check in on the live stream, you can swing by YouTube and search for the Saturday Night Roundtable, or the Papa System Saturday Night Roundtable. That's where you will find the live stream is hanging out. Let's see what the comments are saying. I don't want to call all the animals I've encountered as pets. If I need pets, I can go to my children and get a rent-a-pet. That's from Gary. That is a good point, Gary. If you can put all the financial responsibility on somebody else, but then you can borrow that pet when needed. That's very good. I like it. And Ellen says, sorry, I shifted to the video and lost the live feed. No problem, Ellen. Yeah, I just wanted to double check. That's Bessie Cow Cow Moo Moo, she says, and rides on the back of the motorcycle with you. That's so awesome. I saw you two riding up in Big Bear when you came up there. So that's I got that image stuck in my head. So, all right. And Gary says, I have to ask Ellen, does the dog wear goggles? And Chuck says, thank you, Ellen. Sounds like a great companion. Yep, they're two peas in the pod from what I've seen, so very good. Logan says, fun fact, wiener dogs don't know they're a wiener dog. I agree. My two wiener dogs think they're giant dogs. They will bark and kind of, I wouldn't say charge, but they will stand their ground against bigger dogs, and I'm like, what do you guys think you're doing? That dog would eat you alive. So, yeah, wiener dog's got a big personality and a little body. I'm going to, once the net is done, I'll keep the live stream going, and I'll dig mine out and bring them up to the camera here. So, all right, that means I'm at the bottom of my list. Let me reset here before the repeaters burn up, and I'll take one more round. You guys got me? Am I coming out? I'm double checking the live stream here. Give me an audio check from everybody.
Node 1800. Timeout.
Well, it looks like
Coming in, Darren.
All right, looks like I timed the repeater out. Thank you, Evo. Got to be careful there. Sometimes I get a little too long-winded and time things out. So that puts me at the bottom of the list. This is Darren, WD6USN is my call here, and we're talking about pets here on the Saturday Night Roundtable tonight. And I'm going to take one more round of check-ins, see if anyone wants to share their pets or has some unusual pets to share. I haven't heard. We heard a couple snakes. We had some lizards, some fish, ferrets, but nothing too unusual yet tonight. Let's see who else is out there. Anyone, anywhere, want to jump in on the conversation? Come now.
Six ICR, Menifee.
All right, let me hold things up real quick. I had a KO6 that came in early, the first one that came in, but your audio is so low. Can you get a little closer to that mic or speak a little louder into that mic? Give me that call one more time. All right, I believe it was KO6AHK. And did I get that right?
Kilo, Oscar, 6, Kilo, Hotel, Kilo.
Kilo Hotel Kilo. Got it on that one. All right, you're definitely low on your audio. I don't know if you have an audio gain setting you can bump up or just talk a little louder, a little closer when I get ready to call you. All right, and then there was another check-in that I think was an India Charlie Romeo. Did I get that one?
Kilo 6, India Charlie Romeo.
All right, I got those two. Anyone else anywhere? Come now.
K1UUU.
All right, I got K1UUU. Keep them coming. All right, sounds like we're getting to the bottom here. I'm going to give a last call. Last call. No, not for alcohol. Last call for check-ins. If you want to get in on the conversation, forever hold your peace. Come now.
Kilo Mike 6, Lima, India Charlie.
All right, I got that one. That leaves us, we got 4. That's going to be, I'll draw the line there. Let's go to the top of the list. Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Hotel Kilo. I think I got it on that try. Welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable.
Welcome, everyone. Yeah, I'm Team Cat myself. I love dogs, love all animals. Not really into all the creepy crawlers and slitherers, but cats are pretty cool. I had a cat that saved me from a scorpion, which I thought was pretty cool. Come home, see a dispatched scorpion, and my cat is like happy to show me it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Back to you.
All right, much appreciated for checking in. Like I mentioned earlier, I just never owned a cat, but I've definitely had lots of friends. I've enjoyed other people's cats very much, but yeah, the dog just seemed to gravitate to me a little bit more. And nobody in the family here has ever asked me to get a cat. I think I might entertain the idea, but no. But yep, I recognize some people are cat people, some people are dog people, and some people are both. We're just kind of the dog people breeds in this house. So, all right, let's move on. Kilo 6, India, Charlie Romeo. Welcome to the net.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here. First timer. I'm going to tell you something about a pet that I had when we were in the military. And a monkey is the worst pet that anyone could ever have. First of all, they're intelligent. Second of all, they're devious. And anybody that's ever been in an area where there's monkeys or had a pet monkey, man, you will regret every minute of it. My son lives in Florida, and they have an area where they have a problem with monkeys where people have let them go, and they've bred. Anyway, the neighbors next door to their house, the monkeys got in the doggy door, and they did $7,000 worth of damage in about 45 minutes while their neighbors were gone.
Oh my God. I'm both laughing and kind of crying over here because I could totally understand. I agree. They are the coolest looking animal, but every person I've known, and like I don't know anyone who's owned one that was like a neighbor, but I've definitely known people who had permits and things to kind of like that had a sanctuary, and they are definitely very mischievous. I've definitely been to places in Japan where they come up and sneak up to you and grab your bag full of food or whatever from you. And I agree. They definitely seem like they are a handful if you were to own one as a pet. I kind of want an orangutan though. I think that's more my speed, a little bit more calm, more human-like. But yeah, I don't know that owning a monkey sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a lot of damage to the house, a lot of high energy, a lot of swinging. And there's a couple of YouTube channels out there of people that own spider monkeys and things like that. And that's a whole lot of energy for sure. So thanks for coming in and sharing that. And yeah, letting us know about the monkeys. All right. What a unusual call sign. I like to. It's almost hard to say, but it's a cool call sign. Kilo 1, uniform. Welcome to the net.
Good evening, Ned. How are you? It's been a while since I've been on the Papa. Yeah, quickly bouncing off of the other caller. I actually I had an ex who had a loft in Connecticut, and one of her neighbors had a green monkey on a run inside of a giant artist loft. And there's no world where anybody should be having a monkey as a pet, because it's not only destructive, but they can destroy you as well. So not a good idea. It's novel until it goes horribly wrong. But my pet story would be I've got a Belgian Malinois and 3 Siberian Huskies. And my Belgian Malinois is easily more loyal to me than any human I've ever known. He has alerted me to a burglar who tried to break into my house, and he alerts me to anything that comes anywhere near our home and guards me while I sleep. And I don't know any humans that will do that for me. And that's it. Back to the net.
Well, much appreciated checking in with us tonight. We're glad you came back to the Papa system, and I'm +1 for the Belgian Malinois. Like I said, if I had the skill to train one, I would want to definitely own one for sure. They are definitely one of the smartest, most loyal, protective breeds out there. Not to say that there isn't other close. Obviously, the German Shepherd, very closely related, but yeah, there's no better protector than a Belgian Malinois, and I've just seen them do some extraordinary things. So, awesome! Thank you for checking in and sharing that tonight. And another one for the monkeys. I agree. Seems pretty neat, but seems like a lot of work. And you're right. Even the little monkeys are strong. They can definitely put a hurting on you. They got some pretty good canine teeth that I'm sure would sink right into you. So. Let's leave the monkeys to the people that are trained to deal with them. All right, how about KM6 Lima India Charlie? You're going to be the last one tonight, so welcome to the Saturday Night Roundtable. You get to wrap it up for us.
Good evening. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, as far as pets, I've had several Bengal cats, very high energy, great cats. Over the years, I've had lots of snakes, gopher snakes, pink snakes, pythons, an occasional scorpion, and some tarantulas. And actually, tarantulas were kind of surprising to me because I just figured they were all the same, but they have very distinct personalities for sure. So, cool pet to have. In the future, though, I'm fascinated by crows. I hear they're quite intelligent, so it might be next on the list. KM6, I like these. Thanks for doing that.
Well, all right. Thank you for checking in, and it's my pleasure for doing the net. And yes, Bengal cats. I have a neighbor that's got one, and it's a very, very unique pattern of fur. Very cool cat for sure. I even had a friend of mine who had, I don't know what the breed is, but it was like almost, it was a large cat, still a domestic cat, but this cat would eat raw chicken and it would growl while it was eating raw chicken. So it was probably a very close second to a wild cat, and quite impressive. Maybe somebody out there knows those kinds of breeds that are dang near a predator cat, but still slightly domesticated. But all right, again, thank you for checking in. Let me make sure I got anyone. Is there anyone out there that I missed, or anyone that wants to come in with a recheck or a real last call check before I get ready to close things up tonight? Come now.
KM6AVH with something completely different.
KO6DKX.
All right, I got RJ and Evo. RJ, if it's okay with you, I'm going to go to Evo, and we will wrap up with you. So, Evo, KO6, BKX. Welcome to the net.
Well, thank you, Darren. Very much a topic near to my heart. I'm definitely a dog person. I have trained quite a few dogs for rescue and private. I was a German Shepherd, and it's the best thing that ever happened to me. I rescued him, started training with him, and he taught me a lot. I think I taught him a lot. On the topic of Belgian Malinois, I understand people think those are fabulous dogs, but I would recommend anybody who wants to own one, think about it 3 times before you say yes, because you are committing to a very high drive animal. It's not easy. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of dedication, but they truly are wonderful creatures. All right, I'll give it back to you, Darren. Thanks for listening.
All right, Evo, thanks for coming in. Yeah, that breed, like I said, I've seen it do some extraordinary things. I've seen it climb a vertical wall, like mind-blowing, 30, 40 feet up a vertical wall. They're just, they are a working breed, and you have to work them if you are going to try to own one. So you definitely got to know what you're doing. All right, thanks, Evo, for sharing that. And let's go over to RJ for his recheck to wrap it on up with something different, so he says. KM6AVH. Go ahead, RJ.
Yeah, totally unrelated to the topic. The next launch, Falcon 9 Block 5, Starlink Group 17-4, T-minus 6 days, August 9th at 7:05 p.m. August 9th, 7:05 p.m. for those of you who like to watch the rocket launches from Vandenberg. And that's it. Thanks for taking me last, because it was totally unrelated to the topic. KM6ABH.
Never a problem, RJ. Everything is related here on the Saturday Night Roundtable in some way, shape, or form. The only night we talk about everything and everything other than ham radio. So we definitely love the talk, space talk. So, in fact, we have talked a lot about space on the Saturday Night Roundtable, and that topic will probably make its way back around sometime soon. So, all right, folks, with that, I'm going to get ready to close things up. Let me take a quick peek over at the live stream. There's still 13 people hanging strong on there. And everyone, Hal saying good night, Darren. Thanks to another great net. I'm going to email soon with an idea for the future nets. That's perfect, Hal. I love user participation. If you have a net idea, go ahead and email it to me. My email is goodoncqrzwd6usn. Email me your ideas. I'd love to use what you guys want to hear. Remember, it's topics other than ham radio, though. So, though I love hearing your topics about ham radio and what you want to talk about, those are usually covered by the other nights of the week. So, all right. Again, I want to thank Cecil and all the other net controllers of the Papa system and everyone who works so hard behind the scenes to maintain this system. I also want to thank the Papa system for allowing me to be the net control for the Saturday Night Roundtable. I really do enjoy this net, and I wish everyone a safe weekend. With that, I'm now going to call the net closed. I will keep the live stream side of things going for a little while longer if anyone wants to chat Other topics, wants questions about my ham shack here. That seems to always be something people want to talk about. I'll be happy to answer any questions there. Yep, you see lots of monitors going on. There is some live stream software going on over here, and that you can't see, and there's all kinds of things going on behind the scenes to make this thing happen. So with that, I'm going to now return the Papa system back to amateur use. I will be over on the live stream. Good night, guys. All right, for those of you on the live stream, let me kill the radio real quick so that audio stops coming through. There we go. That one is off. And let's see. Anybody in the comments? Gary says you're 101. Well, thanks, Gary. I appreciate that. I try to make things fun here on Saturday nights. But let me see if I can get one of the wiener dogs to come over here. There's 8. The live chat is getting higher. 18 people on here now. Let me pull away from the microphone real quick and get one of the dogs, since that was our topic tonight. All right, I don't need the headphones anymore since we're only chatting here. But this is Louie. This is one of the wiener dogs. And we named him Louie because he looks like a Louis Vuitton purse. So. So Nub asks, what is the screen above you with the map? Okay, Nub, that is that's a program called Ham Clock. If you Google it, it is free software that you can run on a Raspberry Pi, and it basically gives me the band conditions. It gives me all kinds of information, where the sun rises, sunsets. So Ham Clock, it's got a million different things that's useful for ham operators. So if you look it up, you'll be able to download the free software and put it on like a Raspberry Pi. So let's see. Chuck says, thanks, Darren. Yep. What's the app you're using for the monitor above your head? Yep, that's the Ham Clock. Yep. There's Evo chiming in, Ham Clock. Thanks, Evo. Chuck says, love Louie. Yeah, Louie's a good boy. Say hi to the camera over here. He's a little love bug. All right, guys. Any other questions I could answer around the ham shack? Looks like 40 meters died. Man, I don't know if you were watching it earlier over my shoulder, but it was booming. And now when I look at it, it's just all noise. So, and when I look at the ham clock, it definitely shows that 40 meters is starting to die. Looks like 80 meters is still going to be fired up pretty live, though. All right, looks like Louie wants to get down. All right, Louie, thanks for making an appearance. Say bye. All right, so, all right, guys, I think we'll get ready to shut the live stream down. There's still 17 people watching me from my ham shack. It still shocks me that you guys want to look at me, but like I said, I don't do this very often, but I make it fun. If you have ideas for the live stream, different cameras, different things you want me to do here or stuff like that, I'm totally open to it. Like I said earlier, don't be afraid to send me an email with ideas. We'll make this our net. Gary says, good night all, and hope to hear your voice on Simplex tomorrow. Yep, don't forget about the Simplex net tomorrow, guys. And no 40 meter net. We only do that one once a month, I do believe. So tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. is the simplex net exercise. All right, guys. Again, thanks for making this a fun net. I'm going to get ready to shut things down, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.